Peace. What's up, everybody? So let's discuss this solar eclipse new moon in Aries that's happening on March the 29th. So Aries is a fire sign, and it's all about taking action, motivation, drive, your willpower, and it rules the first house. And the first house is all about your body. It's all about you, your identity, your personality, your characteristics. So an eclipse is all about eclipsing something away. Most of the times this is for our benefit, and this can be a lifestyle, a person, place, or thing, for better or worse. But to go deeper, right, we have the asteroid Psyche and Salcia conjunct this solar eclipse in Aries. So Salcia is all about your emotions, and Psyche is also dealing with your emotions. These are deep ingrained routines and patterns and feelings that you have when you deal with the asteroid Psyche. So right off the bat, there's something that's going to be coming up as it involves your deep emotions, okay? In the sign of Aries, which is this action oriented energy, there's something you're moving past. There could be a really strong emotion that you've held on to unconsciously or consciously that is going to be released or is going to be triggered throughout this new moon solar eclipse in Aries. And with this being in the first house, this could be around your identity. There could be something that you are now releasing, a habit, an addiction of sorts, and it's now gonna make it a ripple effect to where you see changes externally. This could be something that you've already done. There could be things that you've already changed in the past, and you're gonna start to see the signs of this progress or the results start to show up in your life, because this is a new moon, so there are going to be new beginnings showing up, but this is an eclipse, or there are endings as well. But this can even show up as things that you may have held on to unconsciously, or maybe out of routine, or maybe out of, on a darker, deeper end, maybe someone forced you into like some type of submission in a way, and you basically just been in this cycle as a result of an external force outside of your control forcing you to do so. And this eclipse energy can show up to pretty much remove those blocks or even trigger situations that will begin to move those blocks. And that's going to take us into the opposition to Libra. So this is where we are dealing with some type of partnership dynamic here. So there could be certain relationships where, you have had to deal with power struggles that are being balanced out right now or coming up to the surface throughout this eclipse. Or this can even be energies where you are being put in positions, whether this is good or bad, where you are realizing and having to acknowledge your power within the situation, right? Because at the end of the day, we all have free will, and you get to decide what you choose to do. You are in control of your actions at every time, regardless of external forces. Even if someone was, giving you certain consequences or ultimatums as to what would happen if you did do such and such and the other, action wise, right? It still shows you have the power to always choose the actions you want to act on. Let this eclipse, this energy be a reminder that if you do find yourself in any type of power struggle where you're having to like almost fight for your will to express things that you desire or your true passions, let this energy help you to gain more of that Aries type of fiery, passionate, motivational energy to start that goal or to express that passion or to release yourself from that dynamic. And then we get the square to Cancer, okay? And this makes me want to discuss the moon, because anytime we're talking about the moon, we're going to be dealing with our emotions. But we have a new moon and a full moon 2 times out the month, so it's really important to be aware of your emotions, because regardless of whether you're aware or not, they're gonna come through, and things are gonna happen as a result, right? So it's best to be aware, right? Which is the reason why I even do these. And so with this square to Cancer, there's a need to be aware of your feelings and your emotions. Like, how do you truly feel about certain situations that you're in? How do you feel about the passions that you reached, or the mountains that you overcame, the challenges that you recently overcome? You know, how has it made you feel? You know, what are your feelings trying to tell you? Honor your feelings, because throughout this eclipse and this new moon energy, it's an energy where it's helping you to basically go towards new abundant beginnings. All right, so it's actually happening in your favor to know how you truly feel about certain situations within these next 2 weeks. This can be within relationships, platonic, friendship, romantic. This can even be in regards to yourself, your self-image, your body, how you express yourself. All these things you want to be really honest and really sit with your emotions to understand how you feel about it. And then how you feel about it is really a message in itself, and can give you a lot of direction if you honor, you know, how you truly feeling about situations regarding your identity with that first house, or within your partnerships with that seventh house, even within family, even within career. And then we get to the last square to Saturn, which is a very interesting square because we have the asteroids Capito, Sphinx, and Courier. All right, and this energy is showing up squaring the Aries energy, as it's like unveiling yourself, expressing your true love, you know, for a person, place, or a thing. This could be things in a workplace, this could be a person, place, or a thing, but there is this energy of expressing how you truly feel about things, right? This doesn't have to be the things we expressed earlier in this video. This could literally be for a person, right? The love that you have for a person, maybe it's been hidden, and there's this energy where you may gain the motivation or the courage to say it, but go for it. Or maybe there could even be like a childhood dream that you really love, or something that you really have always loved even as a child that you can now express, or the pathway will be opened up for you to now express that. But all in all, this Aries new moon eclipse, new moon solar eclipse, it's an upgrade energy. All right, it's a chance to come out of a repetitive cycle. It's a chance to acknowledge how you've come out of a repetitive cycle. And it's a chance to really start this new beginning with a new, fresh energy. All right. But there's also this energy here where you're not going to be able to show up in these new spaces, these new areas with old energy. If you think so, then this eclipse is going to check it at the gate. And if there have been people who have tried to stop you purposely from going into new beginnings that are like for you, your birthright, you have free will to do so. If there have been energies that have been like consciously, forcefully working to like prevent you from doing so, those energies are going to be put in their place. So honor how you feel, honor your truth, express how you want to express yourself over these next 2 weeks for sure, especially if it's not harming anyone or it's not harming yourself. Do so, because the pathway will be made clear for you to go after whatever it is you're truly desiring, you know, again, especially if it's not hurting yourself or anyone else. Now, if you have anyone hurting you or hurting other people around you who are trying to align with this energy, that's where this eclipse comes in, and it takes a more darker turn, and it eclipses those energies away, and that is here as well. So just a quick recap. I hope this message meets you well. Happy new moon.